is, let me share to you something about detecting a narcissistic manipulator. Now, if you will be a subject or object of this kind of gain from narcissistic manipulators, then if you cannot intellectually recognize them, you will receive a lot of injustices in your life. So this may involve minor to major kind of bullying. This detecting a narcissistic manipulator requires looking at their past actions and connecting them to this latest or current behavioral manifestation. Sometimes they are very charming, which easily fool the person being manipulated. So the best way to detect them is to detect the patterns on how they would use such kind of developed words, intentions, and actions to the subject or even to the people who are trying to save someone or group of people being manipulated by this psychotic people. First is try to see how they would use gaslighting in you. So talking about gaslighting is they are very good at manipulating into trusting the reality of the subject or object being manipulated by doubting their truthfulness or the factuality of the reality. An example of this is if a person is intelligent, then they will discourage him or her by trying to depreciate the value of that intellectual person by changing it into something that is very discouraging, by talking a lot of negativities about that person. So that is what we call gaslighting. The second way of detecting a narcissistic manipulator is they are very good at using the triangulation. So what is this triangulation method? Usually they would use third parties to interfere or participate in a conflict so that they could twist or change the narrative or flow of the story. So they would use a lot of people to spread and disseminate false stories against the person or persons being manipulated or being manipulated or being harmed. Third is the use of love bombing. So usually love here doesn't only confine to the relationship between two opposite sex, but the show of too much excessive use of emotion, affection to a child, to other people. In that way, uh, the use of intense use of words, sometimes we call this one as the over the top affection, praises attention to hook quickly the person as the object of such gaslighting or manipulation. In that way, they could usually uh, cover their evil intention by showing such intense affection to a person. Then we also have the use of goalposts, shifting goalpost. So this is described as no matter what you do, whether very very beautiful, very good, very smart, in the smartest way, their criteria for the approvality of that kind of reference or criterion reference would always change. Sometimes they will disapprove even if you reach the standard. Another kind of behavior or characteristic of a narcissistic person who is very controlling is the manifestation of lack of apologies. They would never take accountability for offering sincere apologies, or they would always deflect the blame from the blame from them in such a way that they would always want to appear to be the victim during the confrontation. They also use such boundary resistance. Boundary resistance meaning they would overpass your limitations or boundaries by ignoring or minimizing their guilt. And the last one is we have the word salad. This is described as during the argumentation, they would always use techniques to confuse you, being the subject or object of their manipulation, and they would distract you with their illogical reasoning so that the issue there will be covered up or covered. So that is what you call detecting a narcissistic manipulators. So I hope you learn from this video. Thank you.